Before the film, I suggested that Dolores Moran, who just drove off into the night with MacDonald Carey, may have seemed a little too uptown to be a girlfriend of a small-town lawyer who's a soft touch for pro bono cases. Well, there's a reason for that. Moran was the wife of producer Benedict Bourgeot. They married in 1946, and after that, she pretty much appeared exclusively in movies made by her husband, a trend that ended with her next picture, Silver Load, made in 1954. After that, she quit pictures, and she and Bourgeot ended up divorcing in 1962. Moran made the news again in 1968 when she inherited the estate of a man she didn't know. Anthony Ponce, described in obituaries as a 58-year-old reclusive bachelor, left Moran money and property valued at $300,000, all because she was nice to him when she was a 15-year-old car hop in Sunnyvale, California. On learning of the bequest, Moran admitted that, for the life of me, I cannot remember that man. Now, Moran wasn't the only cast member who'd marry a producer. The year before she made this film, Adele Mara had married writer Roy Huggins, who'd go on to become one of the most prolific television producers of all time, creating shows like 77 Sunset Strip, Maverick, and The Fugitive. Their union lasted 50 years until Huggins' death in 2002. That's an odd thing about this picture, that Moran and Mara make more of an impression than Teresa Wright and John Craven, the persecuted innocents at the core of the story. Wright is a wonderful actress, but here she seems helpless, unable to do anything with a badly written part. It doesn't amount to much more than lurching forward in anguished close-ups and letting her hair do the emoting. They use that bit at least half a dozen times. Craven doesn't even try, playing it like a guy cited for jaywalking, not murder. Coming off much better is Edgar Barrier as DA Jim Gillespie, sporting what might be the smarmiest mustache in the movies. Barrier was a member of Orson Welles' Mercury Theater, and he appeared in several Welles films, including Journey into Fear and Macbeth. I like his performance in this. He's venal, but not really villainous, which makes him pretty believable as an attorney. Director Don Siegel's career was on the cusp of taking off. Just ahead of him were pictures like Riot in Cell Block 11, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and The Lineup, all genre classics. For the 30 or so years that followed, Siegel churned out some of the toughest, most exciting pictures in Hollywood, as well as serving as a mentor to Clint Eastwood, who carried on Siegel's tradition of directing well-crafted, hard-hitting pictures that also earned good reviews and always made money. They made 5 films together, and Eastwood dedicated his 1992 masterpiece, Unforgiven, to Siegel, who died just before the movie went into production. Next week, I'll be back with a picture some critics consider one of the best B films ever made. Charles McGraw and Marie Windsor star in the 1952 classic, The Narrow Margin. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a wild and wonderful ride. And if you have seen it, well, this one is always worth a rewatch. Until then, I'll see you in the shadows.